Hello students, today we will be revising the topic of Gauss theorem applications. There are three applications of Gauss theorem, and from board point of view these three questions are very important. At least one question is most of the time asked in the board exam as a theory question. So theoretical part we will be understanding today. So let us start. Uh, The Gauss theorem is used to find the electric field due to infinite line charge. Now, infinite line charge means it is continuous charge distribution. Let us draw it here. Suppose a line which is positively or negatively charged is given to us. So, only a line is charged symmetrically. Symmetrically means all the charges are evenly distributed. So this we call a line charge or linear charge. And we have written here one term lambda. That means the line charge linear density is lambda. Its formula is Q by L. Total charge upon total length of this line. Now it may happen that we are asked about the infinite line charge or finite line charge. Okay. How we will handle? Let us understand. We have to find the electric field due to this line charge. So suppose we are given some point P here where we have to find the electric field. So we will be applying the Gauss theorem for finding this electric field. Let us first discuss what is Gauss theorem. So Gauss theorem is flux phi, total flux phi through any closed surface is summation q upon epsilon 0. Summation q means total charge in that surface, inside the surface. Okay, but flux definition is integration of E dot ds vector. So we will be using both the formulas of phi. This side it is Gauss theorem and this is the definition of flux phi. This is definition. So we will be using this way both the parts of the equation. This loop on the integration sign denotes that the total charge should be enclosed before applying the Gauss theorem. Okay, now we will be first of all understanding this diagram of this line charge. So let us understand. First of all, this is the infinite line charge. We have to enclose it. So we have to take an imaginary Gaussian surface which will cover this charge from all the sides. So the idea is, because it is a line, so if we take first charge of it, it will be enclosed by a circle around it. In the same manner, the second charge is enclosed by another circle. So this way, finally, if we have to enclose this charge, if it is infinite charge, then we cannot enclose it whole, but part of it we can enclose it. So the shape which will enclose it, that will be cylindrical shape. So remember this thing. If a line charge is to be enclosed, it will be enclosed by a cylinder, and this point P where we have to find the electric field, that should be present on the surface of the cylinder. Now let us proceed in the direction to find this E. How to find the electric field here? Okay, so we will be applying the Gauss theorem. First step is this only. We don't want this phi symbol now anymore. So integration of E dot ds is summation q upon epsilon 0. Summation q means what is the total charge enclosed inside. Outside charge we can forget. We don't have to count it in the Gauss theorem. So what is the total charge enclosed? So suppose I take the length of this cylinder as L, total length of the cylinder as L, then what is the total charge enclosed inside the cylinder? That will be lambda into L. So we have to replace summation q by lambda L. So it is very easy. Summation q formula is lambda into L by cross multiplication. One thing is this done. Now, how to solve this integration E dot ds? This loop means for the whole cylinder we are solving the E dot ds. Now because this is surface integration, so we have to break the cylinder into surfaces, that means 2Ds. Cylinder is 3D, we have to break it into 2Ds. So the idea is the continuous surfaces whichever are present in the cylinder, that we will take. So you can see the cylinder can be divided into 3 parts: upper circle, lower circle and middle curved surface. So what we will do, this integration of E dot ds we will break into 3 parts. For every part we will solve E dot ds, E dot ds. Let us name these surfaces S1, S2, S3. Suppose this is S1, this is S2 surface and this is S3 surface. Now we have to solve these 3 integrations. Let us start solving. Everywhere vector is there. Now how to solve E dot ds? For that, let us understand for surface S1, same procedure will be applicable for S2 and S3. Okay, if the surface is S1, we have to take a small part which we will call ds1. Then we will draw a vector outward, that we will call ds1 vector. Then we have to find the direction of electric field here only. Direction of electric field can be found by keeping a plus here, always. So where this plus will go, that is the direction of electric field. So if a plus is kept here, due to this positively charged sheet, it will be repelled. That is why you can see that electric field is away and ds1 vector is outward drawn normal vector to this surface, means circle. Circle is horizontal, so outward drawn normal vector. Now what is the angle between E ds1? That is useful. Angle is 90 degree. So we will open this scalar product. So E ds1 cos 90. Integration sign. Then in the same manner, if we solve for S3 surface, S3 is also a circle, horizontal. We have to first show ds3 means small part of it. Then ds3 vector means outward drawn. Now cylinder is here. So of this circle, outward drawn normal vector. See, normal to this can be above also or below also, but we have to take outward vector, that means from cylinder outwards. So ds3 vector is this. Then electric field direction can be found by keeping plus charge here. Where this plus will go, that is the direction of electric field. So this plus, due to this plus, will be repelled. So electric field and ds3 are shown. Angle between the two you can see is 90 degree. So for S3 surface, we will write the detail. Then S3 is solved, S1 is solved. Now S2. For this S2 surface, now S2 surface means this curved surface. So this curved part, as you can see of this pen, curved part is vertical. So if we take the small part here, ds2, it will be vertical. Now ds2 vector, where it will be? So if surface is vertical, a normal vector will be horizontal. So ds2 vector we have drawn. Then next is what? E vector. So plus we will keep here. Where this plus will go, due to this plus, it will be repelled. So here the change we are seeing. E and ds2 vector are in the same direction. So the angle between the two is 0 degree. So let us write it here. E ds cos 0. So we have solved S1, S2, S3. Now first integration is becoming 0. third is also becoming 0. Okay, you can tell me the answer. So the answer is that because cos 90 is 0, so these two integrations will be removed. Right side is same. Okay, so here two integrations are 0, only this one is remaining. Cos 0 becomes 1, so this is also removed. Then we have to find what? Electric field. To find electric field, so electric field we have to bring it outside the integration. Now we have to solve this integration. This integration was for which surface? S2. Okay, now let us understand how to solve ds integration. ds means small part of S2 surface. S2 means curved surface, and integration of ds means whole curved surface. Now what is the area of curved surface of cylinder? That is 2 pi RL. So this way the integration is solved. I can repeat it. ds means part of curved surface, and integration of ds means whole curved surface. Whole. So whole curved surface formula is 2 pi RL for the cylinder. We will equate it with lambda L upon epsilon 0, and further L will be cancelled. Our target is to find this E. So E formula, electric field formula, becomes lambda upon 2 pi R epsilon 0. This is the final answer. So we have solved the electric field due to a line of charge. Now you can see in the electric field formula, the length is not appearing anywhere. That means length of this line charge. That means whatever is the length of this line charge, electric field doesn't depend on that line, on that length. So this formula is applicable for infinite line charge also or finite line charge also. So finally we have solved electric field. It is proportional to lambda and it is inversely proportional to the distance. Okay.